An author whose stories are not just tales, but heartfelt lessons in self-love, acceptance, and the beauty of imperfections. We are excited to welcome back Dr. Justine Green, author of the award-winning series, Completely Me. Dr. Green, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me on.
So you are not just an author of these incredible books, but you do a lot of other things. Can you talk about some of those things?
Yes, of course. So I actually have my doctorate in education focusing on students with disabilities. I have been an inclusive educator for years. I was an administrator, a caregiver and me instructor, and we are excited to say that we've recently launched an all-inclusive, taste-safe activity kit subscription.
This Completely Me series, I want you to give some background on what brought you here. Why did you decide to start writing these?
So in my doctoral studies, one of the things I focused on was disability identity and how those with disabilities do not reach that self-acceptance stage until their mid to late 20s. And that was true for me as well. I was born with atresia and microtia, which affect the inner ear and the outer ear. I was actually born hard of hearing, deaf in my left ear. I wear hearing aids. I had multiple surgeries by the time I was 9. And it took me a long time to reach self-acceptance and being proud of who I was. So it actually became my motivation and what I studied and what I went into, because it's not fair that it took this long for people with disabilities to be proud of themselves and who they are. So I wrote a children's book series so that we can start instilling these values and these morals at a young age. And it's not even just people with disabilities who can benefit from these stories, it's everyone. It's all about teaching inclusivity and the acceptance of differences. We are all different and we should be celebrating those differences.
Absolutely. And now these are children's books. How did you go about writing it in a way for children to understand, but also to open up the conversation with parents and family members and friends?
I have found that when it comes to disabilities and differences, parents, caregivers, teachers, they're very nervous about how to bring it up, how to talk about it. And luckily for me, I have spent my adult life reading children's books to classrooms, to my children at home. And so as soon as I put it onto paper, it kind of flowed right out of me. And I was so excited to share it. And it is something that I believe really does open a conversation. Just reading a story that is there for you and having the children understand, oh, look, she's different, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's really a way to just open that door to having these amazing conversations about differences and awareness.
Yeah. And now it is ADHD Awareness Month, and you have one of your books is called Completely Matt. It's a story of a boy with ADHD. Can you tell me, how this story came about?
Absolutely. So each book in my series is based on a real child with a real disability. And you can see that in the back of each of the books. It's actually a picture showing the child that it's about. And so when we got to ADHD, it is absolutely near and dear to my heart because I was actually diagnosed with it when I was younger. But my brother, Matt, Completely Matt, look at us, we're so cute. He still to this day struggles with it, and he has been on medication since he was, I believe, 9 years old for it, and his children now have it as well. So it is something that has been in our family. We have dealt with it together, and there's so much that people can learn about it.
And you mentioned, in the very beginning of us chatting that, this was started out as a book series, but you just released an activity. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I would love to. So we have released a taste-safe activity kit subscription where each month is a new theme, and it comes along with a video of me doing like a little kind of like a mommy and me video with it to not only teach parents the benefits of this kit that was curated by experts in education and human development, but it was created for all ages and all abilities. And one of the things and the treatments for ADHD is not only medication, parental training, but it's also skills training and behavioral training. and self-regulation activities. And this is one of those things that could really benefit parents and families at home as well.
And I could just imagine how these books have helped, and I feel like the activity kit is the next step for you and all that you're doing. And I have to ask you, what is next for Completely Me?
Well, this is really exciting. The activity kits we just released in September, and hopefully it goes nationwide very, very soon. So check us out and keep tabs. Follow us, Completely Me Kids, and our website is completelyme.com.
Perfect, completelyme.com. I'll put that down below for everybody. Dr. Justine Green, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me on.
We're back in 2 minutes.